Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. And today we're going to be wrapping up my overflowing Schumann. And I have some serious things here. Schumann with one N and Schumann with two. I'm going to get both of them. I figure we should clump them together as I did before at the beginning of this series of chats. Well, here we go. Robert Schumann, Symphonies 2 and 4, Philadelphia Orchestra, James Levine. I think I already talked about this. Isn't it up there somewhere? I probably have dozens of them. Who knows? I mean, some year I'll figure it out. Oh, this is a spare. Horowitz plays Schumann, Kindersehnen, the Arabesque in C major, and the Fantasy Opus 17 and Traumerei. Yeah, I have this. These are his Sony things. There was a Sony box, right? And then there was a big Horowitz box. It included all the Sony stuff, but it was an RCA box, sort of. And then there were certain individual titles from the Sony box that they released. This was part of the Horowitz Century Edition. See that? Yes, it was the Century Edition. I have no idea what that means, whose century it was. I guess it was Horowitz's. But I kept them separately just in case I needed them or if they disappeared forever. I mean, you should always have them. Then we have the Schumann Piano Concerto with Jeno Jando, along with the introduction in Allegro Appassionato and the introduction in Allegro Opus 134. They're all with different people. The Budapest Symphony Orchestra under Andras Ligeti, or Ligeti if you want to call him that, the BRT Philharmonic under Alexander Rachbary, and the Polish National Radio Symphony. Excuse me. The Polish National Radio Symphony Orchestra under Antoni Witt. Now, this was just a handy disc because it had the other stuff besides the piano concerto, and so I hung on to it for reference purposes. It's not my favorite Schumann disc. It's not Jando's best recording. It's good. It's good, solid work, like he mostly did. But the orchestras and different conductors and all that, it's a little catch as catch can. Let's put it that way. Then we have the Schumann String Quartets 1 and 3 on ECM with the Zeitmeyer Quartet. Thomas Zeitmeyer and Matthias Metzger and Ruth Kilius and Francois Groben. Yes, that's who they are. And I got these because Schumann quartets were not always that easy to come by, and they're interesting works. Very attractive works, actually. They don't get as much play as they deserve to. So these two are on here at ECM, and that was nice. I enjoyed that. Then we have this, the previous Sony Casa de Su edition, containing 2 CDs of his Schumann stuff. We have, let's see, unreleased on CD, some of this was. Well, okay. Dichterliebe with Pierre Bernac, baritone. Everything Bernac did is worth hearing. He was Poulenc's great lead partner, song partner, and he was a fabulous baritone, a wonderfully expressive singer, the Fischer-Dieskau of France, only I think I like him better. So we've got Dichterliebe, the Fantasia in C major, Papillon, the old, butterfly things, Waldsehnen, Carnival, and the Symphonic Etudes and the Romance Opus 28, number 2. Casa de Su is a wonderful pianist. I always liked his work. I like the French school generally because they tend to play German music better than the German school. In other words, they have a certain unaffected naturalness most of the time, which really is very, very, very enjoyable, and so is that. So there you go. Then we've got the complete solo works for piano. I got this because I wanted a library edition of all the Schumann piano works so that I could go through them methodically and listen to them all. This is on, 7 CDs, the works for solo piano, with Vladimir Ashkenazy, who is solid as can be. He did these enormous editions. He recorded too much, really, because he became the Jeno Jando of Decca. Someone who basically just did everything, and he did it all pretty well, to the point where everybody got more interested in other people who did less, but with, somewhat more, well, they got paid attention to more. Maybe I wouldn't say more distinction, but they got paid attention to more because, they were rarer. There's value in scarcity, but there's also value in having that handy, and I'm really glad I do. Then we have the symphonies with the Staatskapelle Berlin and Daniel Barenboim, a great Schumann cycle. There's so many. His first one with Chicago was very good. This remake is even better. It's stunning. It's on on the level of his Beethoven cycle and some other really good things he did with the Staatskapelle in Berlin. Glorious performances, and I'm happy to keep those. I have one of those upstairs too. I kept two of them. Oh, look, this is the fabulous Cirque in Ormandy Schumann piano concerto with the Concertstück and the Allegro introduction and Allegro appassionato and the introduction and Allegro concertante. The two shorter works for piano and orchestra with the Manfred Overture with the Cleveland Orchestra and Zell. This is a Sony Theta. The Theta series. Why would they have a Theta? What the hell was a Theta? Why have a Theta? I don't know. Maybe they should have a Gamma, an Epsilon. Anyway, this is Theta. And it has this fabulous Schumann piano concerto. It's just amazing with the other two concerted works and the Manfred Overture. And that is a keeper if ever there was one. And then we have good old William Schuman. Good old William Schuman, not Robert Schumann, William Schuman, who I talked about his complete symphonies on Naxos. And there's actually here's a piece of that, his fourth and ninth, along with the orchestra song and the Circus Overture with Jerry Schwartz. I'm not going to go through this stuff again because, I find him to be a very iffy symphonist. But this was just a singleton, and I have the box with the same stuff in it. So there's that. And last but not least, for this particular clump, we have the Roy Harris Symphony No. 7 and Schumann Symphony No. 6, which is actually one of his more successful later symphonies, sort of, if you like his style. And I like the Harris Symphony No. 7, actually. That's rather interesting. With Hugh Keelan and the New Zealand Symphony on Koch Classics. I mean, wow. I mean, this is. I have to actually talk to Koch Classics because I just got a copyright claim from the successor to the Koch label, which actually owns Vanguard. So I have to talk to them. But in the meantime, there's this Koch recording of good old William Schuman, as opposed to Robert Schumann. And that's the end of the Schums. The Schumanns with one N and the Schumanns with two. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.